Adventurous kids explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids. Learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about Michael Jackson. Michael Joseph Jackson was an American singer, songwriter, and dancer who was one of the most famous and successful musicians of all time. He was referred to as the King of Pop and was one of the most influential entertainers in the history of pop music. Michael Jackson was born in Gary, Indiana on August 29th. 1958, Michael's father, Joe Jackson, worked as a crane operator in a steel mill. His mother, Catherine, took care of the family and sometimes took part-time jobs. Both of Michael's parents loved music. His dad played guitar for a R&B band, and his mother sang and played the piano. Growing up, all of the Jackson children were encouraged to study music. Michael grew up in a large family. Michael Jackson is the eighth child in his family. He had 5 brothers, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Randy, and 3 sisters, Rebby, Latoya, and Janet. Michael was the 3rd youngest, with Randy and Janet both being younger. The Jacksons were fairly poor and lived in a small house with just 2 bedrooms for 11 people. The 3 older brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, formed a band called the Jackson Brothers. Michael and his brother Marlon joined the band in 1964. Soon the family realized that Michael was a gifted singer and dancer. At just 8 years old, Michael began to sing lead vocals along with his older brother Jermaine. Joe Jackson realized that his children were very talented. He felt that they could become successful in music. They changed the name of the band to the Jackson 5 and began playing all around town. Then they began touring the Midwest, where they played in bars and clubs. They won several talent shows and began to gain a name for themselves. In 1968, the Jackson 5 signed a record contract with Motown Records. Their first album, Diana Ross Presents the Jackson 5s, reached number 1 on the R&B chart and number 5 on the pop album chart. Michael sang the lead vocals on their first single, I Want You Back, which hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The Jackson 5 continued to have success. They released more number 1 singles like ABC, I'll Be There, and The Love You Save. As the lead singer, Michael was becoming very famous. He couldn't go to school because he would be mobbed by fans, so he was taught by private tutors in between rehearsals and concerts. While still singing with the Jackson 5, Michael had a number of solo albums. At first, his solo career didn't take off, but he did have a few hit songs, including Ben, Gotta Be There. However, in 1978, Michael met music producer Quincy Jones working on the set of the movie The Wiz. Michael wanted to follow up Off the Wall with an even bigger album. This was going to be quite the task. He worked with Quincy Jones again and in late 1982 released the album Thriller. The album was a huge success. It had 7 top 10 singles and won 8 Grammy Awards. Eventually, Thriller would become the best-selling album of all time. Michael had now become the biggest star in the music industry. Michael Jackson led an interesting, if somewhat strange, private life. He lived in a large complex he named Neverland Ranch, after the land where fictional character Peter Pan lived. Neverland was part home, part amusement park. The ranch had a petting zoo, railroads, and rides such as a Ferris wheel, roller coasters, bumper cars, and a carousel. He had two pet llamas on his ranch he called Lola and Louis. Michael was married twice. Michael was also famous for changing his appearance over the years. His nose became thinner, his face changed shape, and his skin tone became lighter. His skin doctor said that his skin tone changed because he had a disease called vitiligo. He was burned when his hair caught fire during a filming of a Pepsi commercial. Dang, boy! Wow! Michael very unfortunately died of a heart attack on June 25th, 2009 at 2:25 at the Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center. He was 50 years old. Jackson died just 2 months before his 51st birthday. The heart attack was likely caused by drugs he was taking to help him sleep. Thank you so much for watching this Adventurous Kids episode. Yeah! The band says Michael Jackson. Say that again.
What did you learn today?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
What was the most interesting fact?
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous Kids.
Adventurous